that optimal version of you where more of what you want exists. So it's kind of like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 5 steps forward. Hello, Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia and this is TransurfingTV. And today we're going to be talking about something a little bizarre. This is some insights that I've gained probably in the last couple days or so. And what was weird about these insights that I've gained is, first of all, the idea that I had was then supported by other people coming to me saying something very similar, which I had never heard or ever even thought of before. So I was like, okay, this is weird, right? But if you watched my video on magic, synchronicities, and reality glitches, we experience synchronicities when we are merging to a track that is more optimal or ideal for us. So the more synchronicities you're seeing, the faster you're moving, and the more effectively, energetically effective you're moving through the different life tracks available towards something more optimal and ideal. So when I had this thought of this lesson, and then immediately after people started speaking to me about very similar ideas, I was like, there it is. This is some truth. This is some knowledge that I've just encountered. So I'm going to share the love with you guys all today. Before I get started, remember to like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me, because it is. And you just might enter my daily giveaway for some reprogramming stickers. Well, you'll definitely enter it, but you just might win some. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, International Transurfing Institute Facebook group. It is lit. And Teachable course down below, Reality 2.0. Check it out, y'all. So, the title of the lesson today, Inner Intention Loss. So we like to talk in depth in the transurfing community about outer intention gains. I said outer intention loss, right? Not inner intention loss, outer intention loss. We talk a lot about outer intention gains in reality transurfing. So this is your world helping you with what it is you need in order for you to fulfill your intentions, right? So this is you setting the intention, you setting the vector of the flow. Okay, I'm going to be a doctor, whatever it is. And then things presenting themselves to you that could possibly aid in your materialization of that sector of reality where you have achieved that intention, right? So in this fantasy scenario, you want to become a doctor, and maybe you're thinking, God, but I don't have enough for med school. Maybe outer intention brings you some information that, oh, did you know you can take med school in the Caribbean or in South America for a fraction of the price? As long as you can, speak Spanish, you can get into med school in the Caribbean or in South America pretty easy, right? So this would be that information coming up to you that is going to help you achieve what it is you want to achieve. This is outer intention helping you and your world co-creating, materialize your intentions. Now, something we don't talk about, or something that hasn't probably been pitched this way yet. This is outer intention loss. This is when, or loss. I should really put this in brackets here, because when I say outer intention loss, what I'm saying is the initial response to view something which has been taken away as loss, okay, loss. Because remember, when we're in the habit, in the program of dualistic thinking, this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. It's good when I get this, it's bad when I don't get this, I don't want to lose this, it's good when I don't lose this, it's bad when I lose it, right? So this could be spouse filing for divorce, losing your occupation, COVID's got your life shut down, kid has become addicted to drugs and you don't know where they're at. You've lost some sort of capacity. Maybe you've gotten blind. Maybe you got into a car accident and you injured your back and you can't walk anymore. Whatever it is, whatever you could throw into a pile of something titled loss, right? Loss. Usually it has to do with losing something, a person, or something that helps us in our survival. These are usually the ones that sting the worst because we have human instincts, these drives, and the drives are specifically for two things: survival with resources, this is money, food, shelter, all that stuff, and then procreation, this is marriage, children, relationships, feeling connected. Really everything in this world is just more or less an extension of these two human drives, right? So when you lose something, a spouse, it's devastating for a number of ways because one, it has ties to your instinctual drive to procreate, and then two, also it hinders your survival rate. It makes you to feel in the moment that your survival rate has gone down, right? So, but there's all sorts of kinds of losses, loss of parents, loss of, opportunity, all different kinds of things, but you can apply what I'm going to talk to you about to virtually anything, any kind of loss, any kind of event, traumatic event, something weird that happens that puts you on, possibly if you don't catch yourself, on a lower lifeline, right? This could be somebody doing something to you. It could be anything that is perceived as not ideal, okay? So what I am suggesting here is that just as much as outer intention brings things to us, outer intention also takes things away. And it takes things away our entire lives, right? At first we have to, move away from our friends in school because we're going to another school when we're young, or we learn that Santa Claus doesn't exist anymore. That's like loss of childhood fantasy. We leave our parents get sick, we have children, and then we lose some freedom, right? We lose freedom in taking our occupations. We sometimes lose ourselves to our spouse and our domestic environment. We lose little bits of ourselves. So this kind of goes on and on and on and on throughout our entire span of our life. And most people, what they're doing is they're viewing all those very normal, very typical moments in life where outer intention flows in and takes something away as something bad, okay? So this is why I believe the generational shift occurs. And if you don't remember the generational shift in the book, this is the idea that as a person grows older, they grow more and more discontent with life. It's the angry old man that's saying, oh, well, when I was a kid, things were so much better. Or, well, when I was a kid, things weren't like this, right? And it's that slow degrading of, and I hate to say this, but my grandfather's in this right now, used to be one of the most positive people I ever known, and now I'll say life is shit, and life has been a big disappointment, right? So I think what happens is, as a person is traveling along their line of life and they're experiencing these things, and right now he's experiencing loss of vision, grandma's in a wheelchair, they don't have a lot of freedom, right? So he's allowing himself to just go down, 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 and oh, this sucks, and oh, life was a disappointment, and blah, blah, blah. Now, and in his layer of reality, this is absolutely the truth, right? It does suck, because in his layer of reality, he's got all the information, evidence, and material to support this theory that he has created, that life was a big waste and a joke and meaningless and it all sucked. But I remember 30 years ago when I was a kid, he loved life, right? He loved life. He was vivacious and he was happy and he was creative, and things were very different. So what happened? So he allowed himself to view negative events and occurrences as just that, negative, and go down in layers of life to where he is right now. Life's meaningless. Well, I kind of agree with him there. Life is meaningless, except for the meaning that you assign to it. But life's meaningless in a bad way. I'm just going to get old and die. This sucks. Everybody sucks. The world sucks. Politics sucks. Blah, blah, blah. So this is him now. And he traveled here through these various events. Okay? So here's the thing that I'm going to promote. You can take those exact same events and view them as positives, even if you do experience an induced transition. So you encounter something, let's say you just lost your job, and this throws you into an unknown space where you don't know where your next income stream is going to come from. You don't know what it is you're going to be doing with your life or your time. You feel a major sense of loss. You sense a major sense of failure, and you plummet, right? And I know a lot of people right now that are existing on some of these lower tracks because of events that have transpired recently. Here's the thing. There are still doors, new information, access to new doors, material, guiding signs, all kinds of stuff, even on these lower tracks. Here's where transurfing comes into play. Even if you go down to a lower track, right, and things aren't ideal and you're feeling a sense of loss, if you still maintain awareness, if you can still manage to embrace the concept of advantage, you will see all of this stuff down here on these lower tracks that may be portals, one door to another, to a higher track. This is exactly what happened for me. So I realized this the other day. This was my big bad event that happened to me 6 years or so ago. Somebody asked me, Bex, on an interview, she said, what was the worst thing that, or what was the best thing that ever happened to you? And I said, the best thing that ever happened to me was actually what I once perceived as the worst thing that ever happened to me. In retrospect, that threw me into a sector of reality where I was able to then, with awareness, found some awareness, didn't just have my head up my ass feeling sorry for myself and saying, woe is me. I gathered my awareness and I really decided to wake up. I see myself, I see my reality. What the hell just happened to me, and what does this mean, right? What does this mean, and where can I go from here? Track diversion allows you to access new information, material, doors, guiding signs, etc. If the mind exists in a state of advantage, the dips can transform reality. If not, an induced transition. So you have a choice. As a transurfer, you absolutely have a choice. So here I said, living the highest version of yourself, with heart and mind coordination, you access a sector of reality where nothing bad can happen to you. So I get asked a lot, well, you know, this seems weird. I had somebody go off on me the other day on Instagram that said, that is so ridiculous to say that if you just don't think about tragic events, you'll never be involved in one. So here's the thing. Do I believe what Vadim Zeland says in the book, that if you don't think about tragic events, you'll never be involved in one? I actually don't believe that. I believe tragic events are random at times, not random, right? There's a reason that that thing has happened. Hence this, right? Hence this. There is a reason that thing has happened. Here's the magical trick. When that thing happens, that tragic event, because if you believe what I believe, things are going to happen. If you just think about positive all the time and nothing bad's ever going to happen to you, you might get lucky, that might be the truth, but you might not experience that version of reality. And in that scenario, like people saying, God, I've been doing all this transurfing stuff and I've been up on my track and frequency high and blah, 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 all the transurfing stuff. Why did I lose my job and why do I have no money right now? Okay? First of all, stop viewing that as a bad thing. That event, even if it's traumatic, even if it's tragic in your life, is actually outer intention still helping you towards that higher lifeline, that higher life track, that higher version of you, that optimal version of you where more of what you want exists. So it's kind of like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 5 steps forward, right? So what Kazi said to me, my dear friend Kazi, who's amazing, has so much amazing insight. He said he read in a book, and this happened the day after I had this thought, he read in a book that your highest self, if you were on your right path and you were living your true self, your highest self is not going to let anything bad happen to you. And again, this gets back to what I'm talking about. Will something weird happen? Yes, something weird could happen, like COVID strikes and you lose your job. Is it bad? No, it's not bad. It's just another step on the journey. So if you are existing on some of these lower lifelines here, and you're challenged to understand what the hell is going on, why, and what you need to do, the first step you have to take is waking up. I see myself, I see my reality. I do not believe in duality. I do not believe in duality. I mean, of course, you're free to believe whatever you want to believe. But in my layer of reality, this is what I would do. I do not believe in duality. Whatever's playing out right now that I don't like, there is absolutely a reason for it. There is a door. There is a goal to see. There's some information to connect with. There's some sort of guiding sign that I need to access. And it's in this gathering of information that you will find that path to take you exactly where you need to go. So what happened with me, I was, here, and I had this super scary, horrible, bad thing happen to me. Oh my God, I was even lower than the lowest life track. I was like underneath the life tracks, right? And then I woke up and I was like, wait a second, you're being given a free pass, you're being given a golden ticket. You can rewrite the thing for yourself right now. Don't waste the opportunity. Take it. You're being given a second chance, so take it. And I found transurfing, my door, that information that I needed to connect with on this lower track. That's exactly what happened. I connected with it, and sure enough, I didn't even stop on these other lines. I just went like this. But now, if I hadn't gone here, I couldn't have gone here. Outer intention was helping me the entire time. My world is taking care of me. Everything is going according to plan, and things are working out beautifully and will continue to do so with ease. Boom, that's it. So, are you existing here feeling yourself as being traumatized, injured, lost, or experiencing loss? Are you not knowing what to do? Well, now is the time to wake up and figure out what information you need to access, no matter how low you are, that is going to get you traveling back up to where you want to be. That's it, y'all. I hope you like this video. Comment, like, subscribe. Follow us on all the places you can see us and talk to us and interact with us. And thank you so much for watching my video. Bye, guys.